Alright, so I'm making dehydrated meals today. And right now I got rice cooking. I got the beans cooking. And you want to cook the beans maybe a little extra time. You want to make sure they're 100% soft, or else they're not going to dehydrate that well. They're not going to rehydrate that well afterwards. And then I got some pulled pork I'm going to dehydrate. I'm going to spread it a lot thinner than this. And I've been needing to do that for a while. So I'm going to make, I think, 3 or 4 dehydrated meals for backpacking, where I'm going to do some of the rice, some of the beans, a little bit of the pork, and then I'm going to crack an egg in there. And I'm going to dehydrate all of that. And then I just need to get a lot of this pork dehydrated. That way it doesn't go bad. And that's how I'm going to prep for my trip coming up this week. Alright, so our rice is just about done and our beans are coming along. With the beans, I always cook mine with the juice in because I want to have all those nutrients, but when you do that, you want to make sure you boil out as much of the liquid as possible, or else they will take absolutely forever to dehydrate. It looks like the rice is basically done, so I'm going to pull that off of the heat, and I'm going to get started on the eggs. I'm going to put 1 egg in each of the meals. Got a shell in there, we gotta pull that out. There we go. Alright, and that's the timer for the rice. Apparently my pan was not that hot. I'm just going to keep letting all this stuff cook, and then I'll combine it all out. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and combine pretty much everything in just a mixing bowl so we can portion it out easier. Plop my rice down in there. Just scrape this out. We're going to combine our beans in there too. Must be a little hot, boiling up. scraped out as well. Alright, so I'm just going to spread this out probably onto a couple trays. I got everything all mixed up together. Alright, now I just got to put these bad boys in the dehydrator. I'm going to spread out the pork too. Alright. Alright, so I got that food thrown in the dehydrator. I put it in for 16 hours. It might not take that long, but I just want to make sure it's actually completely dry. And then after that, I'm going to break it up. I'm going to portion it into bags. I think I'm going to do 8 bags, and I might do 6. Probably do 6. And then I'll have them ready for my trip. Alright, I do want to increase the amount of calories I'm bringing and also add a little bit of flavor and extra fats. So I'm going to be doing a trick. I'm going to use this. This is a milkshake straw. I get this at the gas station. Look a little weird using it for a regular drink, but I want to have an excuse to get a milkshake straw. So I'm going to use some pliers and seal up the end. Just a little bit further up this. And then this is extra virgin olive oil. It is 130 calories per tablespoon, which is pretty decent. I do want to use a funnel if I can find one. Let's see if this fits in the straw. It does not. I'm going to have to run out and grab a different funnel. Alright, got myself just a little funnel, and it does fit in the straw, so that's what we're going to go with. We will need some scissors as well. And I'm going to put the funnel in there, measure out 1 tablespoon of olive oil. We're probably going to get a couple little packets. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to cut this bad boy off about right. I guess I'm going to have to wash that again. We did it about 1/2 inch above, so that way I have some room to squeeze here. And we're just going to fully melt this all the way up. Let it sit for a second to cool down. Alright, and then wipe it off and do just a little extra on the end like we did last time. And boom, there we go. That is 1 tablespoon of olive oil prepped to take on the trail. And this is what's left over, so we're not going to be able to do another tablespoon, but I'll go ahead and find another thing to use this for. Alright, so I've been kind of watching to see when this was done, so I did pull it out a little bit early because I have added a ton of time. I wanted to measure it and see how much is actually here before I divide it into bags. Because I have estimates. But I'd like to know just a little bit more accurate. Two cups. 5 cups. And just break it up just a little bit more. Rice tends to clump together when you dehydrate it. So I've just been coming in here every few hours just to break it up. I think we're going to do 4 bags. Do this over a tray so we don't make a big mess. One and a quarter cups. There's one. All right, so got the scale. Let's measure these all out. See how much they roughly weigh. This one is 5.6 ounces. 5.4 ounces. 5 ounces. 5.9 ounces. They're all close enough, so we'll call it good for that.